January 2nd, the tropical weather bulletins are back, and it's currently a quiet situation as far as much of the world tropics are concerned, but we do have two systems active right now. A tropical cyclone at the moment, Bejisa, which is currently located not too far from the island of Réunion, which is likely to pass very close as a significant cyclone, currently a Category 3 storm. And we also have an Invest 90B in the North Indian Ocean, in between Sri Lanka and Indonesia right now, and that could develop in the next few days as it heads towards the northwest. This is the Western Pacific Ocean overview right now. As you can see, it's a fairly quiet picture. Looking at the Western Pacific in particular, a few areas of interest, possibly down towards the bottom, a few areas, a little bit of activity perhaps, but nothing that is likely to develop over the next few days. The Eastern Pacific likewise, but that's what you'd expect at this time of year. There's quite a lot of cloud coverage there out to sea, but nothing particularly organised. We might see a little bit of rain on the coast of California there over the next few hours, or maybe more longer period than that. Looking at the Atlantic, it's a bit of a whirlwind at the moment. There's a frontal system over the southern United States extending all the way throughout the Atlantic and affecting Europe as well, and another mass of cloud towards the south there, not too far from South America, which is producing thunderstorms over some of those countries as well. This is the Indian Ocean then right now. This is where all the tropical action is going on. Bejisa, which is currently located approaching the island of Réunion. You can see over the past few hours on this satellite imagery loop the storm approaching the island. You can just about make out its eye as well as it heads towards the southeast there. So this is the current sea surface temperature situation. What we're looking at right now is the South Pacific. That little bit of land mass towards the left hand side is Samoa, and other areas like that, the eastern part of Fiji, Tonga as well, which is where all the warm waters are right now, 30 degrees or so. If any storm forms in that area, we could see some development. Further west, it's looking even better in terms of sea surface temperatures towards Australia. The northern coast of Australia, definitely warm waters here, 30 degrees plus. So if a storm finds itself in this area, it shouldn't have too much difficulty intensifying as long as it remains far enough from any land areas. Now looking towards the southern Indian Ocean, and this one's rather important because we do have a storm there. In the southern part at least, temperatures where the storm is right now, Bejisa is currently around 28 to 29 degrees Celsius, but once it passes those islands, the temperatures will drop off rather dramatically and the storm will begin to weaken and turn post-tropical eventually. In the North Indian Ocean as well, warm sea surface temperatures where that current invest is located. So the only storm out there right now with a name, Cyclone Bejisa, currently located just to the northwest of Réunion Island, currently with winds of 120 miles per hour and a pressure of 944 millibars. Its current position is 18.9 degrees south, 53.6 degrees east as of 12 AM January the 2nd UTC. So the storm's expected to retain its strength, possibly a little bit more intensification as it approaches the islands, then as it will pass probably as a Category 3 cyclone, and possibly a bit of stalling as well before it begins to turn towards the southwest and move out to sea eventually, passing the southern coast of Madagascar without any significant effects there, as I should imagine, but gradual weakening once it passes those islands and sets course towards the southwest. But as it happens at the moment, in the next 24 to 48 hours, it's going to be quite a rough ride for Réunion in particular, where we have an orange alert in effect for the whole island and a Class 2 cyclone warning also in effect for Mauritius further to the east, but Mauritius should get away with not too much in terms of adverse conditions, but certainly we'll see something going on both of those islands. This is the current shear map. You can see the storm currently located in an area of fairly light shear as denoted by the darker colours. The lighter colours towards the red end of the spectrum there shows higher amounts of shear, and it is increasing down there as well, so the storm will rather get ripped apart over the next few days, especially after it passes those islands. With sea surface temperatures falling as well, it will be a rather quick demise, or at least a quick transition to post-tropical cyclone status, you would imagine. Looking further east, this is Australia. You can see on the left half of the screen. It is difficult to see sometimes, but we have a lot of high shear in this area, especially towards the southern areas. But just north of Australia, there is some areas of low shear, so we could see some storm development in those areas. Certainly everything going for it, with warm sea surface temperatures right up there as well of the northern coasts of Australia. But elsewhere, high shear, particularly in the southern Pacific Ocean, which is possibly why we've not seen any storms there so far. And this is the Western Pacific region as well. If we do get some early storms in this region, this is how it's looking. There is a lot of high shear towards the north, as you'd expect for this time of year and most parts of the year really. But further south towards the equatorial regions over the Philippines as well, we're looking at low shear amounts right now and decreasing in most areas too. So if any storm finds themselves in this area, we could see some development. And so here's the current water vapour imagery. You can see a lot of dry air in this region. This is the Western Pacific again, moving towards the left-hand side now. A lot of dry air in those mid-latitude regions. The moist air confined pretty much to the first 10 degrees above the equator. So nothing looking like it's going to form here in any time soon. There is a little bit more of intense thunderstorms going on towards that left-hand corner, but I don't think we'll be seeing any development, at least not just yet. So this is the current storm, Tropical Cyclone Bejisa, currently located between Madagascar and Réunion, closer to the latter, and the storm's moving towards the southeast right now. This was a little bit old, these pictures, a few hours so, and the storm's moving towards the southwest. You can see the eye isn't exactly clear. It's been fluctuating in intensity all the way really, this storm, but it's on a stronger patch once more. Wind speeds went up from 110 to 120 not too long ago, and we could see some further intensification, as I said earlier, possibly to 125 miles per hour over the next 12 to 24 hours. This is what the models are saying right now, the southwest Indian Ocean calling for the storm to move possibly over that island and then curving towards the southwest, passing, should be safely clearing the coast of Madagascar as it heads towards the southwest, and we could have a weak low pressure system moving towards the western coast of Madagascar as well. So that's something to watch out for in the next few days. The South Pacific appears to be disorganised over the next few days. There are a few low pressure systems here and there near the equator, not too far from Fiji either. Could see a bit of rain occurring there over the next few days, but it doesn't appear as there's going to be any significant tropical weather systems over the next few days there. In the northern Indian Ocean and the western Pacific, this is the modelled ones for both of those. You can see the Invest 90B stalling near Sri Lanka. It could be producing a lot of rain over there over the next few days. We could see some flooding. Same too for the southern tip of India as well. I doubt we'll see a tropical storm occur out of that one though. Now let's take a look at the current Predictor season scores. As of January the 2nd, 2014, this new competition has just started in the past week or two, where you can predict your own season totals on the website. But as you can see here, the scores have changed around a little bit as well. This time it's the lowest score that is the best prediction. So that means that Mudkip is leading in first place with 52 points, Zach in second with 62, and Brick in third with 116. You can submit your own storm totals at the website, force13.com/interactive, and then from there just click the Predictor Season 2014 link, and then the rest of it should be fairly obvious. So what happened on this day on January the 2nd? Well, in 1994 the first tropical depression of the season formed southwest of Pohnpei, Micronesia in the western Pacific. The On This Day feature currently covers all storm events since 1965 in the Atlantic, 1975 in the Eastern Pacific, and 1989 in the Western Pacific, and also since 2005 in the North Indian Ocean. The database is always expanding, and soon Southern Hemisphere events will begin to be included, which is sort of important at this time of year, as you'd imagine. You can track any storm that forms on the website, force13.com/stormtracking.html. There's all the names underneath, showing what storms we'll have this year, what they'll all be named in the Atlantic: Arthur, Bertha, Cristobal, Dolly, Edward, Faye, Gonzalo, Hannah, Isaias, Josephine, Kyle, Laura, Marco, Nana, Omar, Paulette, Renee, Sally, Teddy, Vicky, and Wilfred. The Eastern Pacific will see Amanda, Boris, Christina, Douglas, Elida, Fausto, Genevieve, Hernan, Isel, Julio, Karina, Lowell, Marie, Norbert, Odile, Polo, Rachel, Simon, Trudy, Vance, Winnie, Xavier, Yolanda, and Zeke. The next three names in the Central Pacific will be Wally, Anna, and Ella. On the other side of the ocean, in the Western Pacific, the next names in list 2 will be Ling Ling, Kajiki, Faxai, Peipa, Tapa, Mitag, Hagibis, Nyoguri, Ramasun, Matmo, Halong, and in list 3, Nakri, Fengshan, Kalmegi, Fungwong, Kanmuri, Fanfon, Vongfong, Nuri, Sinlaku, and Hagapit. As far as the North Indian Ocean is concerned, the remaining names on the current list, list 5, Nanak, Hudhud, Nilofar, Priya, and Koman. and then it will go into list 6 when the next storms form. You can follow us on the associated websites, YouTube, Facebook, on Twitter, on any of those links at the top there. So moving into the Southern Hemisphere, which is currently active of course in the Australian region, we've already had Alicia, Bruce and Christine, Bruce being a Category 5 storm. Upcoming names: Dylan, Edna, Fletcher, Gillian, Hadi, Ita, Jack, Kate, Lam, Marcia, Nathan, Olwyn, Kwang, Raquel, Stan, Tajana, Aria, Yvette and Alfred. And in the southwest Indian Ocean, we've already had 2 storms there too, both of them major cyclones, Amara and Bejisa. We will also see Colin, Deliwi, Edelson, Fabane, Guito, Helen, Ivano, Girani, Katundu, Letso, Mirana, Naserian, Opang, Paya, Querida, Romain, Singano, Taurus, Unami and Vuma. And finally, if you've got any questions about current storms, past storms and seasons, or about the general operation of Force 13, every Saturday there will now be, if I can get my words out, a new question and answer feature on the YouTube channel to answer any questions you may have, beginning January the 4th, 2014. So that's this Saturday. If you have any questions to ask, I'll do my best to answer. The next tropical weather bulletin will follow at around midnight UTC on the beginning of January the 3rd, 2014. But until then, that's all for now.